Mike Kelton connected to audio. I heard the clap.
We're back.
Can you hear me?
We're back. I can hear.
Gorge.
Can you hear me?
You sound great.
Okay, vibes. You sound great. You sound like you're on XM radio or something.
I sound like I'm on ecstasy for having you.
Okay.
I know my name says Matthew Davids. I need to change it. I just said it as that because I didn't want it as my own name at one point, and then it just sticks every time.
I like Matthew David.
Thank you.
Fun.
Yeah, we're having fun. We're waiting for Joey. I gave him the thing, but maybe he's oh, I gotta admit him to the mental hospital.
Check.
Yeah.
Check.
Sick.
Yeah.
Hello. Hey, is this good?
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Joe.
Michael.
That's Gucci. What? Is that like a dildo with a sock on it?
Yeah, this is how I communicate.
This is his quarantine microphone.
That's cool. I actually genuinely, this is disgusting, but I saw that and I was a little bit turned on.
Oh, cool. Because of the color, the texture, the closeness to my mouth. What was the
color? I'm really attracted to burnt orange.
Yeah, it's nice. I think it's a lovely color as well.
Casey, you have to admit, it looks crazy, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, last time he was here, I called him Steven Tyler. He's got like so much flair on his microphone.
Yeah,
I tend to pop when I talk. I mean, it's happening even now, and this is my best attempt at putting like a clown nose on it, basically just turning it into a phallic thing.
I think it's helping a little bit. Is my sound okay though? Because I don't even have a dildo with a sock on it.
It sounds really good. I mean, it sounds like
Sounds
like
better than me.
a computer. Do you have an iMac like one of those towers?
The tower. What do you mean?
Or like just like the big screen one, not the laptop.
I got the big screen. I have the biggest like iMac. 2 terabytes, bitch.
I could tell it's big because your camera angle is like you know what I mean? It's like looking.
It's
down.
like high up there, right? Yeah.
It's good. It's flattering.
It's good. I'm feeling good about the resources I have during core.
Right?
Yeah.
It's important. I found that like I realized like, oh man, I've set myself up so well. I have like all my instruments. I have like stuff to record. I have this kind of stuff, microphones, headphones. I was like, I don't know how this happened.
You were inadvertently ready for the end of the world.
So I'm pretty excited to talk about a certain thing. I don't know. I know, Joe, you follow Mike. Oh, for our listeners also, this is Mike Kelton. He's a legend in my own life, and he we've been friends for a long time, and he he's multi-talented. He's a super funny like comedian, and we've done improv together for years, but he's also like he's got this producer talent that he produces shows. He's got a new show coming out called Dragnificent that's going to be on TLC.
TLC, yeah.
Amazing. I love it.
Yeah, he's a producer and he's creator of that.
No, actually not creator, but a director
of that, but you also create shows. He's just the best. He's just a really fun person, and Joe and I have loved him for a long time, so we're glad to have you on the podcast.
That's so nice, Casey. Well, thank you, Casey and Joe, for having me.
I'm glad you were free today.
But there's something that's the most important thing to talk about. And Joe, I don't know if I know you follow Mike. Did you see anything recently in his story?
I saw something about dancing, but I didn't watch it. I was kind of scrolling through. Was that
Nope. It's not that. Mike, take it away.
I just finished and completed and pulverized Calamity Ganon in Zelda Breath of the Wild! Ah! Yes!
Now, this is my favorite thing because I don't think Mike would be the kind of person that like would want to talk about or play Zelda. So this is like, and I am like, I didn't think I was either, but
we're all learning things about each other. Yeah.
And now there's a lot, probably people like our friend Jenny Pecora, who it does not want to hear about Zelda, but I think Mike will bring something that anybody would want to hear. Like when I saw your post, I was like, oh, you're bringing Zelda mainstream.
Yeah. Can you entice the layperson into why this game is so great?
Okay, this is for Jenna. Okay, Jenna. Zelda might seem like a game for like bros that like to like shoot guns in like Final Fantasy or whatever those fucking games are. But let me tell you something. Zelda is an iconic super bitch that literally starts as like a man with underwear on in the middle of the forest, collects things, becomes an excellent cook, one you would find on Bon Appetit, makes elixirs, delicious meals, becomes a chef, and also a soldier. And he goes on this journey where he has to start controlling a bunch of like Zordon creatures from like Power Rangers. He has to control these like huge Zordon creatures, and he starts gaining power and knowledge and his memories back, because guess what? He's an amnesia diva, okay? He literally can't remember anything. He wakes up in the middle of nowhere, and he just starts slicing goblins and demons. And also, he's a good person if you play the game right, because you have the option to meet strangers and trust them and like trust that the world is good, or you have the option to kick their ass, and then guess what? You're not going to get the magical potions that will take you on a journey to save someone. I'm not going to give it away, Jenna, because I know that you're downloading it right now. It takes you on a journey to save this beautiful, iconic princess with a lack of diversity.
What's the princess's name?
Zelda. You think, honestly, you
started this out by being like, you're Zelda, and you're
Okay.
this boy.
Okay, here's the thing. You think you're Zelda. I didn't know I was Link until like a month in, because it's called Zelda, and you wake up and you're like, I'm Zelda. I called him Z, but you realize the princess is Zelda. And then you get to a place where you have to save her, and she has powers, but there's a lack of diversity in the whole game. That's my one faux pas. It's like, where are the people of color?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
seriously,
they're all like in the desert, and that's mostly like they
kind
have
of
sort of a Middle Eastern like.
I
look.
guess there are people of color.
Yeah,
but
and they're all like powerful women. They kind of like do all their like, what's the right way to put it? Like their wokeness is all in the desert. It's like women that are in charge, and there are people of color.
That's true. Maybe I take it back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like powerful women of color, and never mind. I take it back. There's nothing wrong with Zelda.
I do wish that I guess at this point it would be cool if like you could just change. Well, I guess I don't know. I was gonna say like if you could change Link to be whatever you look like would be nice.
Well, I kept asking Andrew, my boyfriend. I kept being like, he doesn't talk. You never hear him speak.
Yeah.
And you
He just
hear
moans
every other
occasionally.
speak.
Yeah.
So like I keep thinking, I am him.
Uh-huh.
In most other versions, you can change your name from Link to whatever you want.
Yes.
But not this one, right?
No, not in this one. Yeah, but I almost every other one, when you do like a save file, you can make it like, Mike, and then everyone calls you and the entire universe calls you Mike every time someone's like, hello, Mike.
Oh, wow. That would make my dreams weirder. Because I've been having dreams where I wake up in the body of Link, and I'm like on the journey, and it's weird and wacky.
Do you think that has anything to do that like Link is white and you have the same hair?
Yeah, but he's about like 3 feet shorter than me. Like I've always been like, wow, I'm like a tall, lanky person, and it's always like I'm like gangly, where he's kind of compact and like,
But do you know you're tall?
I usually don't until I see a video.
Yeah, you don't have T energy.
I have what I have SDE, small dick energy. I walk around the world with bean dick energy.
You're so big, but like tall. And then people think Joe has BDE. I've been told.
You do have BDE.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
It used to be called Dick Heat, but I guess they changed the word for it.
Yeah, Dick Heat was the thing. Dick Heat.
Oh, Dick Heat. I like that.
Yeah, we got to bring Dick Heat back.
Link has Dick Heat.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't have to talk.
You're right.
You know he's slinging.
Whenever I'm playing and the volume's up, like, and Link's running around, he's like, and Lisa's always like, "What are you playing?" Or like when those the fairies come out of the fountain, they're like,
Okay, we have
and
to.
Lisa's like, "What is that?"
And they like suck your whole body like it's a dick.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah.
The fairies definitely they kind of sexually assault Link.
Yeah. They don't get to have sex with anyone until someone wakes them up, and they're huge, so all they can do is suck your body.
And Mike, you said that they're drag queens.
I have a theory they're drag queens because they kind of like they're so done up it looks like drag makeup, and they're wearing these outfits that like are corseted, or these like they look like drag queens, and they have low voices too.
You're right.
They're they've always been in the franchise, and they've like starting with like the Nintendo 64 one, you'd be like, this is a scantily clad, like attractive woman. It was
Uh-huh.
pixelated, but now it's like detailed, like at the
Detail.
level.
And there are like pans from belly to
Yeah,
boobs. It's like that's like one of the shots you see.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great. It's for everyone.
It is. It is.
True.
The other thing, so I want to start, maybe we could talk spoilers, but I wanted to just give a spoiler warning in case some people didn't play the game.
In case
and are
Jenna's
waiting.
gonna play it.
Yeah,
Jenna will play it, and you should play it, Jenna.
Jenna, we love you. So all right, so now you just beat the game, and you called me beforehand, and you called me, and the first thing you said was, Casey, tonight I'm going to beat Calamity Ganon. And I was very excited, and we talked for like 15-20 minutes about your like prepping and your technique. And then I watched some video of it. How was the experience? And do you remember what I said about finding the bow?
I honestly had a lot of anxiety because
Uh-huh.
Casey said to me before I went into the castle, and I had done a lot of prep work. I made a bunch of meals. I like got the shield you got to have, and I did the whole thing. So Casey said to me, someone will give you a bow, and you have to actually grab it.
Because I think Taylor Allen said the same thing. A friend of ours. I didn't. I just started. Or no, I think it was Eric Paper. I just started riding around on my horse and using my own bow, and nothing was happening. And I was like, wait, this bow is supposed to not run out of arrows. And I was like, oh shit. So I had to just like circle around this giant beast Ganon. And then I saw it in the distance. I was like, shit. And I found it. And then I was good. But I just as a prep, because I was like, you have to grab it. It doesn't just show up in your inventory.
Well, it's weird because honestly, you said that to me, and I thought you got the bow before you met Ganon and went down. So I'm like in the place, and I'm like, I've been everywhere in the castle, and I still don't have the bow. So I almost called you to be like, did I miss the bow? But then
Gotcha.
honestly, I was like, I'm so excited. Fuck it, I'm just not gonna have the bow.
Great. And then I also saw in this whole thing, so there's a big fight with this guy Ganon, if you don't know the series. And then there's a bonus thing where you have to like fight this giant beast with like arrows. And you were so devastated the fact that it wasn't over after you beat the first Ganon.
Well, come on! There's no world where you wait this whole thing, you drop down into the hell, and then you kill this thing using all of your ancient arrows, and you're like, the last ancient arrow, I got his ass. And then he dies, and then all of a sudden, he becomes something bigger and scarier, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm dead. There's no way. But that's a fake out because it's literally like the aiming thing. It's
I know.
It's just one hit.
It's so easy. You just have to like you just hit him. You ride around a horse and you shoot him, and then like he can't even hurt you really.
he never gets you. Like
Yeah.
a Lionel is much harder to defeat.
Listen to you. You know your shit. This is great. Oh wow.
Yeah, it took a while for you to even know. I would kept talking about Lionels, and you'd be like, horseman. I'd be like, yes,
Right.
yeah, horseman. You'd be like, okay, so I killed 3 horsemen.
They look like founding fathers. They have like kind of a wig thing on their head, and they
Yeah.
ride around on horse, like half person, half horse, and they're very very difficult to beat until you can like finally handle it.
It's
very
gorgeous.
like Ben
They're gorgeous.
Franklin energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can ride them.
That's my favorite. When you mount his ass and you go
Yeah.
bam, bam, bam. That's
Yeah.
like that's my favorite thing. And you know what I found? This is sick. Okay, so I have a theory too. I think there's some research done about Zelda, and I think that like in a lot of video games, there's some type of endorphin release. I think we talked about this case.
Yeah,
There's
big
some
time.
type of endorphin release with the sound and the color and the feeling of defeating something like you're winning. There's something that happens in your brain because I started watching my fingers as I'm playing Ganon, and my fingers would twitch right before I pressed. And I was like, oh my God. It's like my body needed to press in order to get the bang. Isn't that fucked?
It's crazy.
It's great. I think it was oddly formative for me, like as a developing kid playing video games. It like helped me with um like fine motor skills and like reading comprehension and like strategy. I think all those things in an early age I took a lot away from doing it because of what you're saying. It's all built in there. It's all like it kind of trains you in a weird way, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense. I noticed after this game, because it's so beautiful, that when like walking around my own city, I've been like looking up a little bit more, Like, you know what I mean? Like in the game when you're going around, it's such a beautiful game. Hold on a second. We got technical difficulties.
There he is.
Sorry.
Um,
Sorry. I was saying, I don't know where I got cut off, but I was saying I've been walking around. I walk around my own universe of New York, like looking up a little bit more because the game is so beautiful. And recently I beat this game a month ago more, but I've been playing it and I keep finding new areas that I'm like, this is incredible. This is so beautiful. And I'm like, I didn't even see this before. I'm finding new stuff still.
It's pretty dense, yeah.
well, it's crazy because that's what happened last night. I mean, I still need that fix, my
Yep.
Z fix.
Yep.
And so even though I've beaten the game, I started playing last night and I was like, I just want to explore. And so I found a shrine that was like in the side of a mountain. There's a bunch of boulders that you can blow up with a bomb. And the only way I could get the bomb to blow up the boulders was if I put like the balloon thing on it and like sent it out.
Wow.
And then it did it. And I was like, I'm obsessed. And then I got into the shrine and I went to bed because it was 1:00 in the morning, but I was like, I need my fix. And there's so much more to explore.
Yep. It's really fun. And there's other games I'm excited for you to play, like I said.
I feel like I need Core to keep going because I gotta play.
There's a sequel. There's a sequel that should be coming out like by the end of the year.
I think they moved it to next year.
Next year, you think?
I think so, yeah.
I think if anything, they would move it up. But I guess maybe with the COVID. But the really sad thing that I want to talk about was Joe's experience. And I wanted you to find this out, Kelton. So something happened to Joe. Go on. Joe, why don't you explain what happened? Do you know what I'm talking about?
So I purchased this game, and I basically bought a Switch and Zelda because I was flying to Japan, and it was a 14-hour ride each way. So I made some serious progress in the game, and I did beat it. I did eventually beat it, but I played like 28 hours on a plane alone, you know?
Okay.
And you can get a lot done. Anyway, I beat the game. I did all my exploring, and I had this beautiful file in my Switch with like all my equipment and all this, like all the shrines and everything. And like, it's like I'd conquered this world and I was free to visit it anytime. And there was one thing left to do. I never found that, what's that like beast that comes out at night that you can ride?
Yeah.
Spirit of the Mountain or something?
Satori Mountain. And
the light guy?
Yeah, light. Yeah, it's like the beast of Satori Mountain or something.
That was my last holy grail. You know, that was my last thing to do. And we went on another trip to Puerto Rico, and Allie, my fiance, was playing the Switch. She was playing Dr. Mario on it. We're obsessed with Dr. Mario. And she thought I took it back. I thought she put it back in the bag. It ended up being left on the plane.
Oh.
And Zelda was on it with my save file and everything. I lost it all. It's gone.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm really sad.
Zelda's dead. It's okay though. I feel like I at least beat it. It would have been a lot worse if I didn't beat Calamity Ganon.
Wait, so what did you do?
It was tragic.
Did you buy a new one? Are you starting fresh, or you just you won't even approach anymore?
I won't even approach. I think
he got some
That's
insurance. I think he got some insurance money, and he like put in like with his credit card, and he got a new Switch. But he didn't get. Yeah, it's.
I still technically own Zelda, but I'm not gonna like reinstall it and like see if the save files in the internet. I'm done with it. You know, it's kind of cathartic in a way.
Yeah, it's almost like maybe the universe, uni, was like, you can take a break now. Like you've had your fun, and there'll be more journeys in the future for you.
The most cathartic gaming experience I ever had was this game called Nier Automata, which came out like a couple years ago. It's fucking awesome. And it's like it's kind of like this. It's kind of like Zelda, you know, but there's more like existential shit to it because you're like robots in the future. And I'm going to spoil the end of the game big time.
Wait, should you though? Because should I play? Like my question to the both of you at the end of this is going to be like, what do I have to play next? Give me the best peak recommendation. Unless this isn't the peak recommendation, because like I need a fix of something amazing. I almost need a Zelda too.
Okay.
You think it's that?
Well, what system do you have?
Switch.
Just Switch?
Just Switch.
It's not on there.
So then tell me.
Okay.
Okay. So couple things I kind of want him to continue with Zelda because I feel like there are tropes that once he plays like an older one, he'll be like, "This is also in this game."
Like Link to the Past or even Link's Awakening.
I was thinking, well, Link's Awakening is fun because it's kind of a newish thing, but to be honest, like I don't like Link's Awakening as much as I like Link to the Past and all the other games. It's like kind of lower on my list.
Ocarina of Time too. I mean, that could really be.
But he doesn't have anything that would play that. So
They don't have it for Switch.
not yet. I hopefully they do that soon, but I think I just got him in my family plan for the Nintendo store.
Aw.
So
I'm
he
so
could
grateful.
you could play a Link to the Past on that, and it's it's like an old kind of 8-bitty game or 16-bit game, but it's still it hold people always say like it really holds up, and it's a far cry from like the amazing visuals of Breath of the Wild, but you'll get the same feeling, and it's a nice little holdover, and it's old school, so it's like retro, and it's easy. It's fun. It's not easy. But it's like it's fun.
I would recommend that one. Yeah.
So Link to the Past.
Yeah, it's
Link to
available
the
on your
Past.
thing.
I'll call it Zelda to the Past.
Yes.
Yes.
As you should. You
It's
could also,
interesting.
well, to go real quick about the ending of the game I was talking about,
Uh-huh.
it's got like multiple endings. You keep playing it and like it changes every time. The
That's
final one, it ends with you having to, in real life, you get the option to delete your save file and lose everything in order to help out another human being that's really playing the game. If you delete your file, you help someone out, and you've just beaten the game, and you could only beat it because someone helped you out, because it's like an impossible ending unless
Oh.
someone like hooks you up. So you have the opportunity to like delete your save file and then send that out into the world to like help someone out that was just like you.
Oh, that's genius.
Fucking incredible. And it was
Oh
like
my
so
God, I love that.
I never
That's
have to
really
play it again
cool.
because I feel like I really like I got everything I needed to out of it, you know?
And you help someone else.
Yeah.
Like feel that joy.
It was really cool.
That I
That's
never
really
even heard of that. That is so
It's
fun.
incredible. It was the whole game is very like plays with the form, you know?
Mm.
It's really cool.
I feel like, in a Black Mirror type way, these worlds that are created are incredible, and they're proof that we're either living in a simulation or like
We could,
or we could live in a simulation.
or we could
Is that
make one or
crazy?
something. Yeah, yeah.
Like, you get so into it, and it's like, how do they fucking create this? Who has the time to make something that has so many possible endings, that graphically is so amazing, that also encompasses a story that people all care about? It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's going on in those offices?
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild has. I sometimes like every 20 feet, like when you're playing the game, has some new puzzle or thing or like this like small little detail that some of it's like a callback to other games that like if you didn't like who's that for aside there's a huge audience that's obviously would like a lot of people know it, but you don't even need to know it to get it to like it. You're proof of that because you've loved this game and you've never played a single one before.
Yeah.
But like there are bridges in it that are named after like small side characters in like an old Game Boy Advance like only game that's like what like how did they why did they think of that? They put every little detail in. But it's a massive world with
Yeah.
all this stuff. It's also like they say like the Switch is not that powerful compared to like Xbox and stuff, but it runs perfectly and it looks gorgeous. There's like really never like a drop frame.
It's so beautiful. I could just stand at the top of like Mount Hialeah and just look out and be like, I want to live here.
Yeah.
And I also, like you, I've walked around New York or Brooklyn, like during core, I throw on a mask and some gloves and I go out for a walk for like my mental health. And I'm looking around and I'm saying to myself, wow, not quite Hialeah.
I think Jenna would say the same.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's funny.
I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
So something I thought of when I first started the game, because I'd never played, right? I've like literally fresh eyes. I get out of the Shrine of Resurrection and I'm walking down, getting an apple, eating an apple, but I only have 3 hearts at that time. So I'm like, there's really nothing you can do. But I thought that was it the whole game, just FYI. So I find this old guy by this fire and he's wearing a cloak. He kind of looks like poor. And I was I was like, what's up? And he's like, you should go get these orbs or whatever. Part of me wanted to smack him with the stick I had.
Like
I
fight
was
him.
like, I'm just gonna smack this guy. But then I thought to myself, if I smack him, am I like doing something that's gonna help me get a shortcut? Because it's like you learn to trust your instincts and not trust the old man telling you to get orbs.
Wow.
Or is it gonna be like you fucked it up and like ruined your chance at something? What I realized later was, thank God I didn't hit him with the stick. But what would have happened if I hit him with the stick?
Nothing.
Nothing. I think you can't. You can't really
Oh,
do
Yeah.
really?
It's like those townspeople. You could kind of bump into them, but you can't hurt them.
Some
Like-
games you can. There's a game called Fallout where you can literally kill anyone, and like, and that's an option. It's funny when I play games like that. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can't help but being like good and do nice things. Like I feel bad killing characters in a game for no reason.
Mm.
Same. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, I would feel really bad hitting him with the stick. But part of me was like, what if?
He's
Like,
poor. We should kill him.
Yeah. Put him out of his misery.
which made me feel a little bit like socio.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I mean, it's a little scary when you're like, what if I hit this old man in the cloak with a stick? It's like, fuck me. But you're in a video game, so you can kind of like do anything with no consequences.
When this is all over, you got to come over and try VR, Mike. I think it'll really blow your mind. You want to talk about immersive? Like sometimes when I get out of that thing, I'm like looking at my hands and I'm like, these aren't real. Because
Wow.
they just felt real 5 minutes ago, and now
It's so
this?
crazy. Like, it really does make you think, like, what is real? And for someone who is like, I'm at home, I'm working full time, I like finish and I play from like, 7 to 10, and then maybe like midnight to 1.
Yeah.
Like, people that play this all day like there are people, right?
Yes,
I feel
there
like
are.
all the jokes I see about gamers, the ideas they're like sitting in their basement with a headset, like, and I know that's like embellished, but there's got to be a world where there are people that are playing this like and video games all the time. What is their reality like?
It's an issue in Japan. A lot of the youth refuses to leave the house, and whether it's video games or other things that are like online, their like population is suffering because of it. People don't have jobs and don't have like security because they're just living off their parents. It's like that does become a real issue. They're like locked in the matrix in a way, They
That's
can't
what
leave.
I mean. And it is addicting. It is I understand the endorphin release. I understand being addicted to video games, but I think if I had done it for longer or didn't have these other responsibilities, I could find myself just playing all day, every day, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild.
I always do get to a point after like a long time playing where I'm like, this is driving me crazy. I have to get out of this,
Yeah.
The other thing is my apartment, and this sounds like a brag, but it's just so sunlit that
it's
I can't
gorgeous.
play during the day. Like my TV, I can't watch TV during the day because even with the blinds down, it's just like too bright unless it's like a really cloudy day. So I would have to play like on the small version of, like when you pull out the switch, and because it's just so sun soaked. And, and
It is gorgeous, though. I think of that. I feel like my apartment's like a basement. I live in the garden level, so like there's no windows in our living room, which we've made it cute as hell, but also there are no windows.
Yeah.
So like it feels fine. It feels very normal playing video games at all hours of the day in my like our like gay man.
It's like a casino.
It's like a casino. Yeah, we have like oxygen double pumping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could always I think the three of us are pretty lucky in that like our lives contain adventures as well. We go out and do things, we socialize, we participate, we perform in various ways. And there's something to be said about that. I think that we like have our own sort of video game going on in real life too, with little rewards and little incremental like achievements and like growth and experience level, gaining and all that stuff. That's the thing. We're living the game. We just can't do it right now. So we got to do this.
What you're saying is really inspiring. I felt like really inspired. I was like, you're right. I am living a game. Like
it's good to look at it that way too.
Show coming out on Sunday, and I want people to love it and write nice things about it. And I hope we get a season 2. And these are like in my mind, like it's all leading up to the Master Sword.
Yeah, it kind of is,
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to look at it that way. Like it's just about trying to find joy and find experiences and new adventures,
But I think I think people can, even though we're like in the arts or like TV world somewhat.
Yeah, I think you can apply to anything.
Yeah, and I think like with the three of us at least, like we find these creative endeavors in everyday life, not just in work. Almost more so because that's what we bring to work.
Yeah.
Is the fact that we could kind of pull from real experiences. Um, yeah, I don't know. I wish there's more. I guess I feel pretty good like through the quarantine. I had this really guilty feeling today because I was like eating this delicious lunch that Lisa made, and I was
Mhm.
like, I feel very like lucky that I have like a great person to spend this time with, and I'm like, at first I was like, I want this to be over, and now I'm like, look, this will be over eventually. Let
Mhm.
me soak it in a little bit.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Enjoy the fact that I have all this time to spend with like my loved one all day long, and like have delicious meals, healthy stuff all the time. And like I cooked the sickest steak last night, guys.
That's
Oh my
amazing.
god.
Face.
So I did like a slow and low roast of this strip,
Hell yeah.
and then but I had marinated it in like this like liquid aminos, which is like a healthy soy sauce, and garlic and oil and pepper. I marinated it for like 7 hours, and then
Mhm.
I roasted it slow and low for like an hour, and got the temperature perfect inside, and then I seared it. And then when I was done searing it, I left it in the pan with like butter, like a hot pan with like butter and rosemary, and I just basted it with that.
Oof.
Legitimately, it's the best steak I've personally ever made.
Yeah, it's nice we have nothing but time to perfect these little recipes, and like you said, you can like marinate it and slow roast it and all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Also brings me right back to Zelda. I
It's
love
cooking.
I love cooking in Zelda.
Yeah,
Like, not to bring, but I just
I'm
love the
happy to.
idea that like I felt like the way I was playing the game was like I was a witch. I was like a witch cook, and I was like I wasn't. I'm not the best sword slinger. I couldn't
Mm.
really. I never really picked up on the like getting out of the way and then going in for those digga digga diggas. Like, but I was really good at making food like that gave me like high level attack, high level defense, high level speed. I became a little witch cook, and that's a
That's great.
part of it too, which is Casey and Core.
I remember hearing about this like this part of the game about cooking, and I was like kind of like annoyed by it when I heard about it. But it was actually very intuitive and fun to do, and it wasn't a hassle. You can always
Yeah,
find something.
I mean I do skip the whole like cooking.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I was like that's annoying, but like it feels fun in a game to prepare for something. So like
Yeah.
you make the meals to go and kill a Lionel or to like go to the castle. I like that part of it. It feels like real life.
So, Mike, you had made like 50 meals before going again, and how many do you think you used?
Honestly, the first time I did it, um, half.
Isn't it crazy that some people beat Ganon with like a stick?
I genuinely don't understand that.
It just takes so long. I saw somebody beat him with like bombs, like not even the upgraded ones,
Hey, honey,
and
you on a conference call right now? Yeah, we're talking about
very
Zelda.
important conference call, Andrew. Very important.
Hey,
Please meet my Zelda, Andrew.
Hey, buddy.
When did you beat Zelda?
I beat it like a month and a half or a month ago, like kind of at the beginning of like the first week of quarantine, which I was like, I wish I had spaced this out, but I had already done it literally almost every other thing.
Got it. So let me ask you this question. After you beat it, did you continue to play?
I have been, and I was just saying like 2 days ago, I found some new little area that I had never seen before. That was like, because when I started playing it, I was really just exploration first. I was like, I'm gonna take my time with this game. I don't care. Like I'm not. I didn't even start the divine beasts or like I just did shrines and like went different. Like there's actually like a path. Like when you look at the map, there's sort of a path that they want you to take. I didn't realize that until like 2 months ago. I was just climbing up mountains and stuff and just gearing up. And then I was like, all right, now I'll tackle a divine beast. And then when I did one, I was like, okay, I'm gonna really take I don't even want to go to a second one for a while. But
We
I've
did
been
the same thing. We did the same thing, Case.
but I know it's because the game allows you to be yourself and like how you would tackle because there's so many different ways to solve problems. And like when you were saying that you would prepare by like doing meals and you're not so much of a swordsman, Joe is like
The
he's
swordsman.
he's so good at like fight games and stuff. Like him playing Super Smash Brothers, you're like, who is this person? I'm afraid of him.
Wait, Joe, is that true?
I guess, yeah.
So how did you become good at the sword stuff? You just
I
fought
think
a lot?
I think it's all just pretty intuitive in terms of like if you recognize a pattern from other games later,
Bye, Andrew.
if you recognize a pattern in other games, it kind of transfers over like to like this game, you know, like I guess I'm just used to like timing things correctly and like it's not dissimilar to other things I've played.
Well, it goes
Oh,
back to what you said, like when you were a kid, it taught
Yeah.
you a lot of that like hand-eye coordination, like the motor skills. You
I mean,
like
I'm
have that
terrible at sports, but when it comes to like my thumbs and stuff, very good. Thumbs and
Wow.
fingers, I'm great with. Bass player, you
That's
know, like it's all related, I think.
He's good at
Yeah,
sex stuff
that's
too. He's
true.
really good at sex.
I'm really good at getting the thumb in there with the sex, yeah.
He's good at
just
sex.
like, yep.
Just getting it in.
How's this feel? Wait, but I was gonna say I didn't use a shield until halfway through the game.
Wow.
Wait, you didn't equip it?
I
You
had
didn't know how to
them,
do it. Yeah.
but I didn't use it. I never blocked a goddamn thing just
So
because I
fun.
was like, I was smacking people, and I didn't. And then I got the Hylian shield, and I truly was like, and now I'm a fucking beast because I would block. I learned how to block, and then when you block, especially with the Guardian like zooms, it zooms back and it kills.
It kills.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
When I beat the first divine beast, you get like a secret power. Each one gives you like this power, and I did the elephant first, so I like got the thing where you die and it just gives you your life back. And when I
Obsessed.
realized that, I was like, oh wait a second, like I could have this whole time could have like had these bonus powers. That was so fun to discover. I was like, oh, this is going to be so helpful.
Isn't it
Exactly.
weird? Isn't it weird too, speaking of the map from earlier, like how freaky everything gets around the outskirts? There's like
Yes.
giant bones and like weird shit walking around. It's cool. I like that they like incorporate the edge of the world and into like how weird that would be, you know?
It is true, but like I would love to get there's like the top of the map where you see across that big gap that you like fall into and die, but you can see some of the greenery, and I just wish you could get over there. Like,
Is
that-
it
I know.
some of it you might be able to, like towards the right side, the
Oh,
No.
really?
east?
No, I tried recently. I went to the right side and I looked like kind of, you know where the maze is on the top right? There's like a
Yes.
maze.
Yeah.
There's like a whole section that's like you could keep going, but it says this is as far as you can go.
the Akala ancient
Yeah.
place.
Like
Real
near-
quick, we're gonna get cut off in a second, it looks like.
Yeah.
Because it's Zoom. So we might want to start over.
Okay.
Or just start a new Zoom.
Yeah. Do you have some more time, Mike?
Yeah, I do. I probably have like 15 more minutes if that's okay.
Yeah,
Perfect. Yeah. Kelton's great. I love that he's been playing this thing.
I know.
So funny.
I love his explanation of the game is so funny, and like
Yeah.
the Jenna stuff is so good.
She'll never listen.
Let's hope he comes back.
Hello again.
Yeah.
We're back, baby. You have to turn your audio on.
I can't hear you yet. Oh, there you go.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're back.
Just
Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna bring up like real adventures, you know,
Mhm.
especially what can be accomplished during this time right now.
Oh,
Have
that's
you guys heard about the Cannonball Run? Do you know what that is?
No.
I know the
That's-
name.
I think the name comes from a movie, and it's a real thing that people do, where they try and see who can have the fastest time from New York to LA. And this last week, it was accomplished because there's no one on the roads in like a crazy record time. They got across the country in 27 hours.
I actually saw that on the internet, and I
Yeah.
was like, how the hell could someone do that?
They sped the whole time. They had gas tanks in the trunk hooked up to the car, so they never had to stop to refill. And they
Where
just
did they
went. They had three drivers, went nonstop, and were like rotating. I guess they packed meals, like they were going to Calamity Ganon.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's so
And they-
cool.
And they got to LA and they killed Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the real Calamity Weinstein.
Yeah,
Calamity.
that's why they went. Isn't that crazy? It makes you like. I kind of want to go on a road trip of some kind, or at least like I want to drive to Times Square, but I haven't had the car in a while. Allie's taking it to work, but I want to go one night and just see what Times Square looks like.
Yeah,
like, empty.
getting your divine beast and head out.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like fun. I mean, I feel like we should do it. We should.
There's nothing like we could all go and like just sort of like wave to each other. We don't have to like hang out.
We could. I also. I'm thinking like I've never been to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, you
Like,
could do it.
what if you just drive to Niagara? You go to the top. It feels very Zelda-y because it's a waterfall.
Yeah.
And then
And there's a border you can't get past.
yeah, you go to the top, you wave, and maybe you jump in, put on your Zora armor, and swim up.
That would take probably like 6 to 7 hours to do.
6, 7 hours. So
You know, and
yeah.
those guys when they went across the country, they were speeding the whole time. I think they probably got a couple tickets, but they were going like 100 miles per hour or more.
and there were no cops.
Well, there were some cops. I think they got a few tickets.
Oh,
That's kind of part of the thing. You have to like be willing to like fuck up your driver's license points. But I guess in other states, if you get a ticket, it doesn't really mess you up.
Yeah, you don't get points, but you get a pretty big fee. I think if it's over 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, you'll have to.
maybe
I
not.
guess you just save up. I don't know. But if I got pulled over, you know what I would do? I call my buddy Jody Sellers.
Oh, genius!
You see?
Oh my God! So
who is
okay,
Cody Sellers?
Can you
I
read it?
don't
It's
know.
backwards. He sent us hats.
Mike,
He
you're
sent us
gonna-
merch.
You're gonna love this fact. Our podcast is sponsored by Jody Sellers at the Sellers Law Firm, 770-415-9848, where clients become family. He has been part of our family now for a while, and he is a real lawyer in Griffin, Georgia, who sponsors our podcast.
He sent me so much merch. What lawyer do you know that has merch?
I honestly don't know, but I love him.
He's the greatest. He's the sweetest man.
He's amazing.
He's a Southern boy, but he's a real gentle man. And he's at the Sellers Law Firm. Look at this merch. Oh my God.
I know. I
That
got a
koozie.
koozie.
And
Because
I
it
can't
looks
even
like
see
it's
it.
from like a bait and tackle shop, but it's a law firm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right.
Isn't that crazy?
That
It's
is-
camouflage.
That hat, Joe, is fetching on you.
Isn't
It's
it great?
fetching. It looks good.
I like
Thank
the
you.
orange. It's like good for hunting because it sticks
way,
out,
yeah,
but you blends in.
Exactly. And if you do get shot, you know who to call.
Oh,
So-
is that what he is? Personal injury and
Everything, you name it.
He'll do it. He'll figure it out.
He'll sue the pants off you, or he'll sew your pants.
I have best friends that are lawyers. I have family that are lawyers. I wouldn't call them, even though he's based in Georgia and you can only, really call him if you're in Georgia. I would still call him over my family and friends to represent me
I
in court.
almost want to get in trouble so I can call him.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it.
Drive to Griffin, Georgia, get a ticket.
Maybe I
Speed.
will.
Speed there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna speed.
Yeah, Jody is the best. I think. Wait, am I also getting this stuff, or did I fail to give him my address?
You didn't give him your address, but he gave me enough for both of us. So if we ever see each other again, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, when's that gonna be, guys?
I
You see,
guess.
it's my address now. Can you forward some to me? I love.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
it.
absolutely. I got cups. I got like
Hair
weird
ties?
bands. I don't
Oh.
know.
Weird bands.
Is he just like a fan of the pod and was like, I want to sponsor?
He's just a joyous individual and a hardworking lawyer who wanted to put
American.
his money into something that he would see some real investments, and it was our podcast.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's our only sponsor, and he's keeping us afloat.
Yeah, honestly, we need him.
We do this podcast just for Jody Sellers at this
Yeah.
point.
I love Jody. I'm obsessed.
I'm not saying like you should go to his Instagram and because you get to see him and he's great.
What's his Insta?
Of course, it's the Sellers Law Firm. I believe.
We've been doing this for like 60 episodes, and we've only just now remembered what his phone number is. We've been
I
able to
didn't-
memorize.
No, it's just because
I
it was on
found
the
it.
hat.
Yeah.
You got it.
Oh my god, vibes. Oh my god,
He
he
works
posts
with-
the pod.
And he works with a lot of wrestlers, so it's wrestlers and us.
Mm-hmm.
I am obsessed.
He's incredible.
I'm obsessed.
We're gonna have him on the podcast soon. Jody,
And you got to hear him sing. You got to hear him sing.
I got sunshine. He sang.
He already
sang it.
has. He's posting about traffic tickets. He's like,
See?
if you need tickets taken care of, like, give me a
Wow.
call.
There you
Hashtag
go.
Traffic tickets.
I'm
This is great.
I'm following.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, guys, is post beating the game real life. I watch videos of theories on Breath of the Wild stuff nonstop on YouTube. There's a few different accounts. One is called like Black Nintendo Crisis. Another is called Zeltix, and they have like tons of videos that are these like theories of like the leviathans, which are those giant bones you talked about like on the outskirts,
Oh.
and like what those beasts are and what they mean, and like how could they get there, who were they, what does it connect to with the other games. There are all of these crazy theories. They're also like, how did so like did Link actually, like there was one recently that was like, did Link actually, was he actually going to die in the like 100 years ago when they like put him into the Shrine of Resurrection? Because it looked like he was just tired, because he's a pretty overpowered guy. He could take a lot of hits, but he looked really, he was stumbling like he was exhausted. So I think he just needed to like, you know what I mean, to eat one of those stamina shrooms or something. He didn't necessarily need to like be in the Shrine of Resurrection. All these funny theories that I'm not funny, but like cool thoughts.
So that Zelda was just like, you need to sleep. And then he was like, she put me to sleep for 100 years.
Yeah. I don't know. And
That's
there's these theories with like the divine beasts and all that stuff, because they got taken over by control of Ganon. But the first time, like 10,000 years ago, they actually defeated Ganon, you know, with like, that was like the idea. And they were like, there was all those like that tribe, the Sheikah tribe, like they're very clairvoyant. They could like see the future, like you, Mike. And they were like, well, why couldn't they see the future to see that the beasts were gonna be taken over? And then all these theories with that. It's real cool, but I fall asleep to it every night.
oh my god, I want to watch now. And
Yeah.
I feel like I have theories, but I don't know if they make any sense.
I know.
Because
What are they? I got to hear them.
well, it's very past lifey. So the whole like 10,000 years ago, it's like a princess and a soldier defeated Calamity, right?
Yeah,
And it was that song that guy sings. He's like, you hear it a million times. But was that Link and Zelda, or was that a past life with the same
Interesting.
spirit? And they went through a cycle, and 10,000 years later, they reincarnated as that like origin, which is
Okay.
their origin spirit.
Yeah, I
So,
think you're right.
yeah, so how the actual Zelda like franchise breaks down. There was a game like 2-3 games ago where there was this guy Demise, who's like the original bad guy, and there was Zelda and there was Link, and Demise cursed them all to like fight the same fight basically forever. So generations of like these Links and Zeldas and Ganons, which was originally Demise, and Demise actually got like sucked into the Master Sword. So he's like in there, but he's cursed them forever. And so like Ganon coming along as like an evil, and then he became Ganondorf at a certain point, which was like the man version of Ganon.
Yeah.
And then he's like the real Ganon is that beast, that like pig beast.
Interesting. It's interesting you say that too, because as someone who's never played Zelda besides Breath of the Wild, at the end when I killed Ganon, the beast one, the one that's like just stands there like a dumb fuck and you just kill him with arrows. When Zelda goes and makes the ball big, right? And she's like, the glowing ball is big. And then he's like, I can't swarm around it anymore. And then she's like, ah, and it becomes a small ball. And it's like, he's gone, but like, will be back kind of thing. It's like, you know, it's like the end of a horror movie. It's like, but they're still alive.
Yeah,
I have a theory that the next one is going to be everything seems fine, right? Zelda's with Link and they like live together in this house and like they're helping people, but Zelda starts being weird as hell. And he's like, what's going on? Like, I love you. We've defeated Calamity Ganon. Like, we're good. And then she's like, she snaps. And when Calamity Ganon was swarming around the ball, he left a drop inside of Zelda, just like COVID. And the COVID spread inside of Zelda, and she becomes taken over by Calamity Ganon. And he reincarnates basically through her, and she becomes an evil beast that like takes over the land but tricks people, very like Ramona, Real Houses of New York kind of style. And then Link has to find a way to kill Zelda without killing the essence of Zelda. and that's his struggle, and he has to meet with all these people so he can kill her without killing her.
I like this.
It's a
So
weird. It's a weird curse for Demise to put on them because Ganon always loses. Like he didn't really
no,
mix it up
it's not
enough.
true. He so there's this other thing when if you look at the timeline of all the games, Nintendo broke it down in this book once where at a certain point there's Ocarina of Time, which is the 64 one, and that splits into 3 different timelines. One where he wins, and that goes into
Oh
this
yeah, okay.
one where he loses, like like Link dies and Ganon rules for a long time, Ganondorf. And 3 is he goes back when he's a kid, because in that game you time travel. He goes back when he was a kid and nothing ever happened, right? Like, so it was before. So it's like it's a world where you're adult Link and you won. You're adult Link and you died, and you're a child Link and it never happened. And that's how like all the games that go happen. But people are saying that Breath of the Wild doesn't fit in the timeline. It's got connections to all 3 of those things. So there's this other tangential thing that has happened now with Breath of the Wild that they never explained. And I think they just kind of explain it in post, like after they make the games. But there's a trailer for the new game. And it's interesting that you said that, because what people are theorizing now is that you never fought Ganondorf. You fought Calamity Ganon and the Beast Ganon, but that's never, like, every game. There's always you don't know this, Mike, but every game there's always a part where Ganon throws like a spear, like almost like a laser at you, or like a ball of energy at you, and you use your sword and hit it back, bat it back at him. Every game has that. This game didn't have it, so you never really fought Ganon or Ganondorf. And in the trailer, it shows this like mummified Ganon, and he like snaps and looks at you. It's scary. You got to see it. And
I'm gonna watch it as soon as I hang up.
and dude, there's another theory that like in that there's this spiral of green light, and in this Zelda, there's these like in the Triforce, there's like these 3 things. There's like the evil, which is red, and there's like good, which is blue, which is Zelda. But then Link's actual color is green, and there's all these green squiggly lines. So there's a whole world of like this other color that, like, you know what I mean? And it's weird. It's like it's like almost like Ganon has this manifestation of Link's power in this trailer. It's really funky.
Did you find it odd that Link's color was blue in this game?
His outfit was blue.
Yeah, I wonder what that was about.
Yeah.
But it's also blue in Wind Waker.
Is it?
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure it's blue in
All right.
Wind Waker.
I have to go because of work, but also mostly I have to go watch this trailer. Now I'm freaking out.
You have to watch the trailer. Have to.
I want to talk about this again. Can we just do this again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Part 2?
Yeah, we talk about this too much.
I have so many things I was planning on bringing up, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Just because the combo was vibing. But like, I'll tease a little something I do want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
To watch YouTubes and like cheat, or to not watch YouTubes and not cheat, because for 10% of the time I played Breath of the Wild, I cheated. I just started getting antsy towards the end, and I now regret it.
Interesting. So it depends on the game for me. So like recently I played the very first Zelda, which apparently people say is like really, really hard. It's the first ever one. And I played it with like a strategy guide, because I was just like, I want to see what this game's about. And I first tried to play it, you die so much, and even with the strategy guide, you die a bunch. And then you get to a point like in this game where you get like more hearts and you could survive a little longer. And then I would go off it, and when I go into dungeons, I would kind of go back and forth whether I needed the strategy guide. And I just wanted to sort of knock out the game. And I finished that game being like, I loved using a strategy guide. It was so fun. It didn't matter. I don't care if people are like, you shouldn't do that. But with Breath of the Wild, I would say that, 10% probably makes sense. There was maybe like a couple times I got tied up that I might have used, or like, oh, you know what I want is this weapon I saw on YouTube. How do I get that?
And you try as much as you can, and then if you have to, 10% is not so bad. I wouldn't feel bad about that.
Yeah, don't feel bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it did taint it a bit for me. Just the feeling of finishing. I was like, like I would have never. I mean, I found the monster guy, Kelton.
Mm-hmm.
I bought that mask, the Lionel mask, like without seeing anything online, and it was like my way of killing Lionels. Like I was able to trick
Yeah.
and like get a big swipe in before to like take it down.
Mhm.
But I would have never known about like freezing monsters with the freeze time thing if I hadn't
Stasis.
have watched a YouTube. And
Mhm.
that's really how I killed a lot of like Lionels and the Yigas.
I'm going to tell you something else. The very first game, like I just said, there was no internet, obviously, right? So you can't look up strategy guide. But because of the game had so many things, there's so many secrets of like bombable walls, a community developed of people sharing what they found, even in the very first game. So it's natural to want, with the way these games are made, to talk to other people and to see how other people did things, because it's a game that kind of breeds a community.
It's a puzzle.
Yeah, and you did the right thing. You did a thing that I think people have been doing since the very first game, which they really looked after the first game for this one.
It also sounds like you have more to experience and explore. You didn't find all the shrines, right? They're out there waiting for you.
They are. I mean, totally. That's why I started again last night exploring. I was like, I gotta keep going. And I haven't caught the blue like beast man. So
Yeah.
the blue light horse or whatever.
Right.
He's hard to get.
I'm going to say this. Yeah, you should go. But I'm going to say this. If you ever get hung up or like caught up, instead of looking it up, hit up me and Joe, and we'll give you hints instead of just giving you the answer.
I will. It's like my favorite thing. Like you said the bow thing about like Calamity Ganon. And I was like, I guess I'm not going to have it. And then it came and I was like, I got the bow!
I know. It's nice.
It was amazing. All right. Well, this has been amazing. I'm obsessed with you both. Yep. And I'm sending my love and good ends during core. And thank you for having me on your pod. And thank you, Jeffrey Seller, Deborah Seller.
Thank you, Deborah Seller, and thank you, Jenna, our friend Jenna.
His name is Jody Sellers.
Thank you, Jody Sell.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Mike, we have to reveal that our friend Jenna, this whole time, her name is Jenny, and we've been really loving that you've been calling her Jenna.
Oh my God, I have a knack for names. I really do, which is great because apparently I'm a host. All right, goodbye, you guys.
Bye, Mike.
Bye.
Joe, we're going to go too, right?
Yeah, you can catch Mike's show on TLC. When is it?
Sorry. I'm going to stay for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Mike,
insane.
Magnificent.
Okay. Keep going, Joe.
What are the?
Well, I don't know the details again. It's on TLC.
Sunday at 11 is a sneak peek after 90 Day Fiancé, and Monday at 10 is the premiere, and we'll be on for the next 5 weeks on TLC, Monday at 10 p.m.
Beautiful. Can't wait to see it.
TLC.
Congrats, babe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Talk
Love
soon.
you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.